welcome to today's Lunchtime Live. My name is Christine. I am Cake Pop Box, and today I'm going to show you how to take your pumpkins from this to this. So we're going to do a flat pumpkin design, and then after that I will show you how to make this beautiful pumpkin. So we're going to do pumpkins two ways today, but before we get started on the cake pops, I do have a few things to remind you of. Cake Pop class is coming at the end of October, so we're about a month away. So I will be here at least every Friday doing a lunchtime live tutorial, so I'm open to suggestions. If there's a design technique or tutorial that you'd like to see, I would love to show you, so let's do that. I am going to be doing two different giveaways on today's live. Hello everybody. I've got two cake pop stands here. That look near perfect that I'm super excited to give away. But I have a small issue with them, so I'm not comfortable selling them. So I thought, why not give them away, because they're still usable and they're still beautiful. We had an incident where the screwdriver went all the way through. It still works just as well as the others, but I don't want to sell anybody a cake pop stand with a hole in the bottom. So yeah, we are live on two different accounts right now. So this is my very first time going live ever on TikTok. So hello TikTok, and also on Instagram at the same time. So my first time going live on two platforms, first time going live ever on TikTok. So we're gonna do two giveaways. The first one's gonna be on TikTok. I'll pick someone random on the live through the comments at the end, and then anyone who interacts with the live, so after it ends on Instagram, leave a comment, like the post, and I'll go through and randomly select someone there. So that's for the giveaway. And then what else? We opened our TikTok shop for Shine Dessert Glitter, so super excited about that, and we're celebrating by giving out the anniversary trio $24 off. So it used to be $54, it's down to $24, and then there are tons and tons and tons of people on TikTok getting coupons through TikTok. I saw someone yesterday get it for $12. I think probably 80% of people are getting it for $15, so big deal. Awesome price, so hop on over to the Shine Dessert Glitter TikTok page so that you can get it discounted. This sale that I have going on, so the $24 off, is going on for about the next 10 hours or so. This is on Shine Dessert Glitter, and we'll see how long TikTok is still giving out promos to people too. Okay, awesome, thank you. Okay, since I'm live on two platforms, you guys have to bear with me a little bit because the comments go by really quickly and they're going by on two different screens. So if you see me back and forth, that's why. My handle on TikTok is Cake Pop Box, so if you want to come support over on Cake Pop Box, that would be awesome since it's my very first time going live. Oh, it's gone already. There's too many comments. Oh, okay. All right, so I think we can get started. So again, we are gonna be making this cake pop here. I'm gonna show you how to get the texture. Instead of flat like this, we're gonna do it, kind of give it a little bit of a 3D look. And then we're also gonna make this beautiful cake pop here. So cake pops two different ways. Thank you so much for the warm welcome on TikTok. And we can get started. All right, so first things first, I've got my cake pop dough. I am experimenting with a new flavor, so this is pumpkin pie flavor. It smells amazing, it is delicious. However, it came out a little bit darker than I would have hoped. This is the color and the texture. It smells so good even just now, but that's what we're gonna be using today. And then for the first design, for the flatter cake pop, we're gonna go in with a Tiny Bites mold. This is the pumpkin shaped mold from Tiny Bites Shop. Can you make sure I'm saying that right? Tiny Bites Shop. I want to make sure I have her handle correctly. If you want to just tag her in the video. So this is the one we're going to be using. And then we've got our cake pop dough here. I love these because they're super easy to use, although I will show you also how to make the traditional round. Tiny Bites Shop, yeah, with the Z. Okay. Hi. Hi, friends. Okay, so cake pop mold, cake pop dough. All we're gonna do is add it into our mold. Super simple here. Flattening it out. Hi, Jessica. Hi, Alejandra. I don't use any frosting in my cake mix. That's something that I'm really proud of. Frosting does a few things in cake pop dough that I don't like. One, makes it really mushy, and if you guys can see my cake pop dough here, I like the texture of it, so I avoid it for that reason. It also adds a lot of sweetness to the cake pops that I don't love. I think the cake just itself has a lot of yummy sweetness, so we don't have to add any extra sweetness. So that's it. Let me grab a piece of parchment paper. And then I'll show you what I like to do with my molds on the opposite end. I do give classes, so I have a class coming up. That was not smooth. I have a class coming up at the end of October. It's an all-inclusive cake pop class. It is from start to finish, and it's a really, really good one. I do the class every 6 to 8 months, so I would love to have you on the cakepoppclass.com. I do have a wait list so that you can get all of the info, or you can just hit subscribe and I'll see you there too. Okay? All right, so once I've got my cake pop dough in the mold, I like to press it onto some parchment paper just to make sure that it's really flat. So what I'm doing is I'm just kind of smearing it off one edge and then the other, removing the excess on the sides. And then we can push it through. So see how, because I smeared it kind of on the sheet like this, it lifted the sides of the cake pop off the mold already. And then it has a plunger on the back. So we just kind of push it through. Just like that. Super easy. These molds have been making life so much easier. Thank you guys for all the kind comments about my class. Thank you so much on Instagram and on TikTok. Okay, so this is what we've got. We're gonna treat it just like a regular cake pop. So what we're gonna do is we are going to grab our cake pop stick. Here, I've got my chocolate pre-melted. For this, I'm using Sweet Shop Ultra White from Stover & Company. It is a coating compound, so you don't have to temper it or do anything special to get it to coat the chocolate. And then I've added in Color Mill in the shade Orange. This live will be saved on Instagram. TikTok, I don't believe allows you to save lives, but if you go on over to Cake Pop Box, don't forget to hit the follow button and you can see some of my different lives. I don't measure out the cake pop dough when I put it in a mold. You can if you want them to all be the exact same thickness. I didn't for this case since I'm just making one. All right, so for the pumpkin, I'm gonna put 2 fingers on both sides of the stem here so that I could feel the stick on the inside, and I'm gonna go right through the center until I feel it just about at the top there. Does anybody have any questions so far? Yeah, so I know a lot of you on TikTok probably don't know me yet, but let me take a moment to introduce myself. So my name is Christine. I run Cake Pop Box, and what I do is I come on live every Friday during what I call Cake Pop class season. We are on season 6 of the Cake Pop class, so it's starting next month, and so I'll be on at least once a week doing these free tutorials. After the tutorial, I send out a list via email with all of the products that I use, so you'll get a link to the molds, the chocolate, the coloring that I'm using. So hop on to thecakepopclass.com/info, or just go to thecakepopclass.com, and at the very bottom, you'll see somewhere that says subscribe, or it'll say let's keep in touch, and add yourself to the email list. If you're on the cakepoppclass.com/info or on my Cake Pop Box Instagram page, just click the link in my bio, and then you can click add myself to the mailing list. When you add yourself to the mailing list there, you'll get a link with a recap essentially of the live here. Flutter by Cake Pops, thank you for buying a badge. I really appreciate that. All right, so here's the fun part. We are going to take this cake pop from boring to amazing by adding in a little bit of texture so that it looks like an actual cake pop. So the way I'm gonna do that is I'm gonna take a cookie cutter. Alejandra, thank you for buying a gift on TikTok. You are the #1 gifter right now. So I'm gonna take a cookie cutter here and I'm going to just add in some lines as a guide. Once we add in the lines as a guide, I'll go back in with a cake sickle stick and make those ridges a little bit more defined. And then it will give us a cake pop that looks like this, flat, to this, with a little bit of texture, like a 3D look. The class is $75, so I know it's a lot of money, but with everything that you get in this class, you get everything. You learn everything you need to know about cake pops. So it's the last class you'll need to take, and I'll take all of the guesswork out of making cake pops for you and make them really, really easy for you to learn. So 100% worth it. And on top of that, it's one of the lower priced classes out there. So I'm looking forward to having you guys. Thank you. All right, so we're gonna start here and then do the opposite end. On this side, we're gonna angle our cookie cutter facing this way so it's in a C or a crescent moon shape. And then on this side, we're gonna face them the opposite direction so that it looks actually rounded like a cake pop. Okay, so let's see if I can do this on camera so you guys can see. But here we go. Here's our first little indentation. So right now it's just gonna be a line. So we're gonna do 2 here. And then once we get to the center, we're gonna flip it over and add the line on the opposite side. Just like that. We can make them a little bit more defined here so we can see what we're doing. Just like that. And then to make them a little bit deeper so that the chocolate, once it goes inside, doesn't cover the lines, I'm gonna take a cake sickle stick. This is a metallic one, so it's a little smoother than a wooden stick. And I'm just gonna follow the guide and create a little bit of an indentation there. So real easy. This is super hard to do on camera. If you don't need the cookie cutter to create the indentation, you don't need it. I need it because I cannot draw a straight line if my life depended on it. Let me straighten these out a little bit. Okay. And what that's gonna do is it's gonna give us the 3D look once we dip it in chocolate. So we went from this flat look to this, to these little indentations that'll make it actually look like a pumpkin. So let's go here. I've got my chocolate pre-melted. And all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna insert it with the ridges facing up. This is gonna allow the chocolate to settle in there and still have that definition versus just filling it and making it look flat. So dipping it at an angle and then holding it and removing the excess. So I'm just gonna give it a little bit of a shake there. You can start to see some of the ridges appearing already. Still wet and super glossy. It's a little hard to see. So as soon as you see the chocolate kind of stop dripping off the edge, you can flip it over, give it a quick shake to smooth it out. And then we're gonna set this to the side and let that dry. So now we can work on some of the details. We're gonna make these leaves and we're gonna make the top, we're gonna paint it gold. I'm actually gonna dry dust it so you can see what it looks like with Shine Dessert Glitter. All right, so let's grab some fondant. Where is my fondant? Can you hand me that fondant? Thank you. I've got some fondant here. I'm using Wilton Decorator's Preferred. And we are going to essentially dip it in Shine Dessert Glitter to get that beautiful green glittery look. Hey Brooke, how's it going? Thank you, Belinda. All right, and then I've got two different molds here. This one is a flower mold. This one is a leaf mold. So I'm gonna be using both. This one has almost like a vine look to it. So it gives it the longer look versus the leaves on their own. So let's use both. So I'm gonna just add some fondant into the mold on one side. Super easy. All I do is press down with my thumb, removing the excess, and got myself a nice little fondant leaf set here. I know it's a little hard to see the details there, but let's keep going. So I'm also going to be using Shine Dessert Glitter Lucky Green. So remember, this is available on the TikTok shop. It is a 100% edible glitter, and it is this gorgeous green color. And it dyes fondant beyond belief. So what we're gonna do here, if you make a lot of fondant pieces, you know that this part can be time consuming, it can be difficult, but I'm gonna show you how easy it is with Shine Dessert Glitter. So I've got my fondant here. All I'm gonna do is touch it against the mold and it dyes it or colors it almost immediately. So we'll do the same for the opposite side. And just like that, super easy, we have a glittery mold. Oops. So let's go ahead and make another leaf. For this one, I'm using the individual one here. Thank you for tagging Tiny Bite Shop. This is the pumpkin mold. Pumpkin plunger, not really a mold. And then I'm just touching it into the Shine Dessert Glitter. So we've got our little baby leaf here. And we can add it to the front of our cake pop. So let's add with a little bit of chocolate. I'm gonna add just a drop on one side and a drop on the front, just a little bit. Enough to stick our greenery down, and one on the front. Pretty cute, right? Thank you. The leaf molds, I will send out the links to both of these molds via email, so make sure you add yourself onto my my email list. You can do that by clicking the link in my bio on my Instagram or going to thecakepopclass.com and subscribing there. And then let's paint the top so that we have a little bit of differentiation with the stem and the actual pumpkin. So for this, we're going to be using the metallic gold highlighter. This is an edible gold. This is what it looks like. It's a powder. You can dry dust it or paint it on with an Everclear vodka or your favorite extract. So I've got myself a little brush here. I'm just gonna dry dust it on, but if you want it to be super golden, then you may want to paint it on. I'm just gonna add some here to the edge of my brush. Very little goes a long way, and we're just gonna see where I'm going here. Dust the top and the sides. And paint that gold. And it's a little bit hard to see with the angle, but it is actually really, really pretty gold. This also is on the TikTok shop. It is normally $60. TikTok marked it down to half off. So if you get that code available on yours, make sure to grab one. This will probably last you forever. All right, so that's it for the first cake pop. So here we go, we've got our 2 here. We took it from flat to fab using a Tiny Bites cake pop plunger. Does anybody have any questions about this particular cake pop before we move on to our lilac cake pop here? Okay. I guess I did a good job at explaining because I don't see any questions, so we can move on to our next cake pop. So again, before I move forward, I know a lot of new people are joining the live, so we are doing 2 giveaways, one on TikTok, one on Instagram. The one on TikTok, I will randomly choose someone on the live to receive a cake pop stand. The one on Instagram, just interact with the video as soon as it's posted here on my page on the replay, and I'll randomly select someone there. They do have a very minor imperfection. The drill went all the way through on one of them. However, it still works. It's still beautiful, so you can still use it, but I don't want to sell that to somebody. So easy giveaway and something fun for my supporters. So thank you guys. All right, now let's do our lavender cake pop. I did not measure the ounces on this one, but maybe I should, so I can tell you guys what it is. Let's make one so I can show you. Thank you, Andrea. That's a sweet comment, thank you. All right, so here's our mold. I would guess it's probably about like 1.1, 1.2 ounces. Hello in Hawaii. Thank you for joining on the live today. All right. So we've got our dough in the mold. Let's remove out that excess so we can get a true weight. So here it is. Easy pumpkin. And let's weigh it out. Does anybody want to take a guess of what the weight is on there? Let's see in the comment section. What do you think it weighs? So a normal cake pop for me is 1 ounce. Cake pops on the larger side are 1.1 ounce. I would think 1.2 on this one. It feels a little heavy. It's not only a bigger one, but it's thicker too. So 1.3, 1.5, 1.8, that's big, but maybe 1.1, 1.2, 1.2, 1.3, 1.7, 1.2, or 2. Okay, let's weigh it. Let's see, the moment of truth. We're on ounces. It was on 1.3 and then it hopped to 1.4. So we're at between 1.3 and 1.4. So good job. I actually saw a lot of people guessing 1.3 and 1.4. The boards, if you would like one, we do have a good handful of boards left. They're on shopcakepopbox.com if you'd like to get one. Oh my gosh, Andrea, good guess. You were actually very close. So yeah, this is 1.4 ounces. A normal cake pop for me is 1 ounce, so it's a little larger than our normal cake pop. But I think you can see why. All right, if you guys are ready, let's make this cake pop together. The scale is on my Amazon shop, so amazon.com/shop/cakepopbox, or I have it linked here in my bio as well. Thank you for joining. You're not late, don't worry. You can catch the replay if you need to. All right, move this over a little bit. I've got my lilac chocolate here pre-melted. Looks like it might need a little bit of a melt. Again, let's add it for a few seconds. I never refrigerate my cake pop dough. Unless I've made the dough in advance, of course, but I try to make it fresh. Refrigeration does bad things to cake pops. There's a lot of reasons why I don't, but the main reason is that cake pops that have been refrigerated are more prone to cracking, which we don't want. But if you have a good cake recipe with a nice firm dough, it is going to hold up for you. It's not going to fall off the stick or do any of the things that people refrigerate cake pops for. So, all right, so let's measure out 1 ounce of cake pop dough. Zero it out here. Woohoo! Oh, let's say I did it. I guess 1 ounce, but no, 0.9. 1 ounce. And we could roll it out just like a regular cake pop. So I've got my dough here. This is pumpkin pie flavored dough. That's why it's a little bit darker in color for me right now. But I'm gonna roll it out by pressing firmly between both hands. And as I get it into the ball shape, I'm gonna gently release that pressure on my cake pop. And then I will be left with a nice round cake pop. I'm using Sweet Shop Ultra White from Stover & Company that I've colored with Color Mill Lilac. All right, so let me show you how you get your cake pop from this to this. We're gonna create some ridges or indentations similar to how we did for the flat pumpkin cake pop, except this one of course is round, so we're gonna do it in the round shape. All right, so I'm gonna place the cake pop here on my palm because I don't want any flat levels on there. And I'm gonna take a cake pop stick and I'm gonna gently roll it back and forth in my palm. And this is gonna create that indentation that's gonna make it look like an actual pumpkin. So here we go at another angle. Just gonna kind of take it all the way around. You do want them to be semi-deep because they will be filled with chocolate and we still want them to have the look of the actual pumpkin. On TikTok. Do you ever use the mold or only hand-shaped? We use the mold for this one. I use molds or plungers when I have a specialty shape I want to make, like the pumpkin here. However, for round cake pops, no, I never use a mold. They're always hand-shaped. And when I can, I typically do them hand-shaped, like this one here. So you saw all I've done was roll the cake pop back and forth with the stick to create that indentation. The flat pumpkin mold is from Tiny Bites with a Z shop, Tiny Bite shop. If someone wants to tag her in the comment section, that would be awesome. Making sure I've got my ridges all the way around. This is what it looks like so far. It's okay if they're not perfect. Pumpkins are not perfect in real life, so I like doing things like this because I get to enjoy a little bit of a perfectly imperfect cake pop set. So I've got my chocolate just on the edge of my stick, a little bit there, and I'm gonna insert it through the bottom just until I feel it reach the top without it actually going through the top. So then once that's ready, we're gonna dip and then add in our glittery fondant pieces on top. I used the metallic gold effect and Shine Dessert Glitter in the shade Little Sister. Thank you, Karina. So this is the look. This is Little Sister. I personally think that the purples, the light pinks, the light pale orange are gonna be the colors this Halloween, so that's why I decided to go with the pastel look. Shine Dessert Glitter is edible. It is made with FDA compliant ingredients. Let me show you what it looks like. I can turn my glove here. Super shiny. So you can see It is super pigmented. It's made with food grade products and ingredients, and it's on TikTok Shop. So if you'd like to buy one, shinedesertglitter.com, and the cake pop stands are on shopcakepopbox.com. If you hit the link in my bio, it'll take you directly to each of these. I know it's a lot to remember. All right, so let's go ahead and dip our pumpkin here in the lilac cake pop. Making sure I'm covering all sides and then just giving it a gentle shake. For this particular cake pop, I am gonna rotate it so that I make sure all of the chocolate is going into all of those ridges so we don't lose any of the definition that we just created in our cake pop. Yeah, pastels for sure are in. Just until you stop seeing the large drip, and then that's it. Real easy. I'll set this to the side to dry and we can work on our fondant pieces.
On TikTok, somebody's asking, how do you make your cake pops?
How do I make my cake pops? Good question. I have a cake pop class that teaches you everything you need to know about making cake pops. That is on the cakepopclass.com. Class is starting up in October. I have had over 5,000 incredible students that went from hating cake pops, loving cake pops, but wanting to do something different. Never made cake pops before, who have taken the class and really, really loved it. So the glitter is on Shine Dessert Glitter's TikTok shop. So if you head on to Shine Dessert Glitter here on TikTok, you will see it. For the next 10 hours, we're doing a sale on the glitter pumps. Why don't I pump some glitter on here so you can see? This is Rose Gold Treasure. Really, really pretty on the pale or more pastel colors, and it's really, really easy to apply. You just mess it up after I say it's so easy. Nice and bright and beautiful. I love it. I glitter everything in my life, and people will be like, oh my god, that's so much glitter. You are putting glitter in the air, and that's okay for me. All right, so I've got some more fondant here. I'm gonna make a little stem for the center of our cake pop dough just by rolling out a little bit of fondant. Kind of in the shape of a little chocolate chip. And then I'm gonna put it here in my Shine Dessert Glitter cap and just add some glitter on it. Roll it around. Oops, I was gonna use gold for this, I just remembered. Oops. And now it is sparkly too. We'll add a little dot of chocolate here on the center of our pumpkin. Sorry guys, my dog hates weed whackers or lawnmowers, and the neighbor just started up, so hence the barking. All right, and then let's make a leaf to go on it. So I buy my molds from a variety of different places. Some of my favorites are Lavender's Bake Shop. I love It Was All a Dream Shop. So all really great molds, but if you sign up on my email list, I will send out the link to the molds so you don't have to go searching for them. All right, so got my fondant. I'm gonna just add it here into my mold. Just like so. And we'll remove it out, and then same way, we're gonna just add it into the Shine Dessert Glitter just by touching it onto there, and it colors the fondant really, really beautifully and really easily. Okay, so again, we're gonna do a little dot of chocolate just to glue it on. You can use edible glue too if you have some. We're just gonna place it here. Really easy. As a final finishing touch, I'm gonna do a little squiggly to add on the opposite side here, and then that'll be it. Really, really easy. Thank you guys. I see all the kind comments about my cake pop class and very, very, very much appreciated. So rolling out some fondant here to make a little stem. All I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut it a little bit shorter, and then I'm gonna spin it so that it can look like a little wiggly vine there. We're gonna add this onto our pumpkin. Why don't we paint this gold since we missed it on the stem? We meaning me. So I've got some metallic gold effect. This is a 100% edible gold highlighter. And I'm gonna just add some onto a brush and simply roll it around in my palm. To paint it gold. So we'll add again a little bit of chocolate on the opposite side that we put our leaf. I like them to kind of be touching at an angle so that it looks nice and natural. And here we go. Ooh. And that's it. Really, really easy. So this is what we made here today. We've got our 3D rounded cake pops. We've got our plunged cake pops. So I want to say thank you very much to everybody for hopping on both on Instagram and on TikTok. Thanks for the warm welcome. This being my very, very first TikTok live ever, so very much appreciated. I am going to choose a random winner here on TikTok to win the cake pop stand, and then we will, once the live is posted here on Instagram, I'll also choose somebody from there. So thank you guys so much. I hope you really, really liked the tutorial. Let's keep in touch. So click the link in my bio to add yourself to my mailing list. I will email out by the end of the weekend, maybe on Monday, a link to all the supplies that I used here today so you won't miss out on anything. And don't forget, Shine Dessert Glitter's TikTok shop is live. You can go on there and get edible glitter as low as $5. No, as low as $4 because people have gotten the anniversary trio here for $12. So TikTok shop, that is Shine Dessert Glitter. It will come in the collector's box. Every order does. So thank you guys very much. I'm going to hop off. So appreciate you being here. Take care. Oh, wait. I'm going to hop off on Instagram. TikTok. I'm going to choose a winner in just a moment. So thank you guys so much on Instagram. I will post the repeat. So thank you. Bye. All right. Here we go on TikTok.